What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated Tony TGD coming at you with another video. This time we're going to be talking about some censorship. That's right. We got another video game being censored on Steam, but this time it's not Steam doing the censorship. No. It is Sekai Project themselves who decided preemptively to go ahead and censor their own game. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take a look. We're going to see what the hell I'm talking about right now. What I'm talking about is Rewrite Plus. It's a visual novel. It had a Kickstarter. It raised a total of $207,200. It had 2,087 backers. They blew past their goal just a little bit. Don't know much about the game. All I know is a visual novel. And yesterday, they put out this update number 28. Said Steam keys are going out, plus announcement about content changes. Ooh, we don't like to hear that. It says, hi all, be on the lookout for an email from the backer kit containing your Steam key for Rewrite Plus. Now, about the other subject in the title. Okay, before we go into details, we know there's a lot of opinions on why you should or shouldn't change game content to make it acceptable for platform holders. Unfortunately, we did have to change some content with help from Visual Arts to make it acceptable for this release. However, if you think any changes are unacceptable, first, do not redeem your Steam key, or else you will see a scary message from Steam. We will still accept refunds if you redeemed. Instead, reach out to us and we will refund your pledge as soon as we can. If you're unhappy about anything else related to the project, we will be accepting refund requests up until tomorrow as well. Now, what was changed? What content changes? Well, they gave us a handy little breakdown. So we're going to take a look at this. It says these changes were taken from the Japanese PS4 version. I believe they later correct that, and it is from the original Japanese retail release, not the PS4 version. So let me see here. We got the original image, and then the censorship. Again, original image here on the left. Young lady in her bra and panties, I believe, and now she's wearing a shirt. We got this young lady here showing a little bit of panty, just a little bit. And they added extra frills on her skirt. Cover that up. We don't want to see that. Can't have that in our visual novels. It says, reminder, if you think any of these changes are unacceptable, first, do not redeem your Steam key. We will still accept refunds if you redeemed. Instead, reach out to us and we'll refund your pledge as soon as we can. If you're unhappy about anything else related to the project, we will be accepting refund requests up until tomorrow as well. Now, when this update came out yesterday, a lot of people were outraged, upset. They blamed Steam. They said, this is Steam is censorship policy. Steam's notorious for doing this. They will allow American games to have simulated sex scenes, talk about various sexual subjects, adult material, as long as it's an American company with American-looking character models. Steam doesn't seem to have a problem. But when it comes to Japanese and anime style games, Steam seems to be a little heavy handed with their censorship. They seem to be out there, blocking these games. And of course, this is Steam's prerogative. It's their platform. But, it is nice to have the rules enforced equally. It's nice to have them clear cut, concise, so we know exactly what's going on. However, this is not a case of Steam censoring. No, because we had a update. An update to the update. See, it says update about yesterday's update. This was released today. It says, hello, everyone. Many of you have questions and concerns regarding yesterday's update, so we want to clarify a number of these prior to the release of Rewrite Plus. It says, regarding where the CGs came from, we made a little mistake stating it was from the PS4 console version when it was from the original release of Rewrite. So already, they made a little screw up, but it's okay. It says, regarding physical copies, the physical release of Rewrite Plus and Harvest Festa will have the original CGs from the Japanese retail release. So there's no censorship in the physical copies of the game. It's only in the digital copies. It says, regarding digital copies, due to the risk involved, we are unable to offer any official way of reverting the changes outlined in yesterday's update. So those of you looking for an official patch from Sekai Project. They will not be doing it. You will not be getting that. Usually, when this happens, there are official patches to correct that. But Steam has lately been, from my understanding, cracking down on that, basically saying, you're circumventing our terms of service, you're circumventing our submission process by submitting something that gets approved and then offering an official patch that, puts back in the stuff that wouldn't have got approved. Steam wasn't too happy about that. Eventually, I knew that was going to happen. So you might have an unofficial patch out there, but you will not be getting anything official, it seems. Now it says, now this is where the real issue I have when it comes in. It says a delay in revealing the changes. Without going into too much detail, due to signed agreements, when a build is submitted to Steam, it gets reviewed by Valve. If they find content that goes against their policies, there is a high possibility of the build being banned with no way to appeal. Other times, they will let you make adjustments and resubmit a build, but from our experience, it's still more likely the build will get banned right away. Other developers and publishers might have had similar or not so similar experiences too. The changes to the CGs in question were made early in 2021, but the build failed because it was not fully localized yet. Once it was fully localized, we submitted it again, and late Wednesday night, the build was approved for release. We have had a long-standing policy not to talk about changes made to a game until after it's completely approved by Steam. Considering the narrow window we had to get the build ready and still release in 2021, there really was no time to announce these changes earlier. Now, this is complete and utter horseshit. They obviously knew very early in 2021 that they were going to change these CGs, but you see, they still wanted that money. They still wanted people to back the project. Now, obviously, if their policy says that they're not going to talk about until it's approved. Now that would make sense if they weren't doing Kickstarter. It would make sense that they'd be hiding this, from people who are giving them money. If those people were not, the average consumer. You see, what they're doing here is basically honey dicking you. They're honey dicking you. They're basically saying, hey, look at this game with all this sexy girls and all this hot visual novel action. And we're going to give it to you. We're going to localize it in English. You're going to get to play it. And then, after you've given them their money, after you said, here's some money, make the project happen, make it work for me, baby, they take it away. They say, nope. We didn't want to run afoul of Steam. We preemptively decided to remove it. Oh, we didn't tell you about it because we still wanted your money. We didn't tell you about it because we knew if we did, there'd be outrage and people would make videos and talk about it. But now that we released it, boo-boo on you, you will probably be lazy and not get a refund. Because you see, that's what happens. When games get released, when you get them and you find out there's content change, 9 times out of 10, people are too lazy to get the refund. They'll just be like, well, fuck it. I paid for it. It's here. I got it. Might as well play it. Whereas if the game hasn't been released yet, if you haven't gotten the game, if it's still months away, you'll say, fuck it. Give me my refund. I got nothing. I might as well get a refund, right? And that's why they held up. That's why they have this policy. This policy is about them keeping your money. It's about them, pulling you around by your dick and basically saying, hey, just wait a little longer. We'll give you some release. We'll give you a release later in the year. Just wait for it. And then they change their mind and walk away, and leave you there, blue balls and all. Now, it says there's some additional changes. This was accidentally missed in yesterday's update, but due to Twitter API changes, the tweet function has been removed from this version of the game. What is the Twitter function, you ask? It was a built-in feature in the game where a user could click it to tweet out the current scene there to Twitter. So a little extra functionality is not going to be in the game. Again, they probably should have let people know. Now it says regarding the separate release of Rewrite Plus and Harvest Festa. Now here's where they're gonna really, twist the knife just a little extra. It says while the commercial release of Rewrite Plus was released in Japan together with Harvest Festa, was always intended to sell them as 2 separate games after the Kickstarter. This was intended, but never told you. You see, they kept this a secret. They basically said, you know what? We can get people to back this, and those people who are on the fence, they'll think that they're going to get the 2 games together, but they won't. Now they're going to have to buy them separately because it's fully released. This doesn't change anything for backers, as digital backers receive both Rewrite Plus and Harvest Festa, and the physical release also contained both games together. We apologize that this wasn't made clear enough. We apologize for screwing you over and basically treating you like shit. Good job, Sekai Project. It says refunds. We will be extending refund until the release of the digital version of Harvest Festa. If you redeemed a key that is okay too, we will process them as soon as possible. Please feel free to request a refund through our support desk. Since we're already on the subject, there will be adjustments made to the content in Harvest Festival as well for the digital release. As with Rewrite Plus, the physical version will not have these changes. So again, now, the second game that they're working on in this little 2-game pack is also going to be changed. Also going to have content changes. But why are we getting told this now? I mean, their policy was that not until they got the full okay from Steam, and if the game's not being released yet, it's kind of weird, right? If the second one isn't ready, so they're kind of breaking their own policy because the policy was always full of shit. It says bug reports. We've made a new centralized and public location for reporting. Blah 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 blah. It says in closing, we believe we've been as transparent as possible on the changes made, considering the agreements signed as well as the requirements necessary to get Rewrite Plus on Steam. No, you've not been as transparent as possible. Unless you basically signed an agreement that said you're going to make these changes and keep it a secret from your backers, which would be a scummy thing to sign and a scummy thing to do. You haven't been transparent. What you've been is greedy, money hungry, and basically taking advantage of people who are desperate to play some quality visual novels from overseas. It says, nevertheless, if this is unacceptable, then feel free to request a refund through our support desk. Thank you for your understanding, and please look forward to the release of Rewrite Plus. Now, I did reach out to the company. I reached out to Sekai Project, but they had nothing additional to say. They basically said, everything we had to say would be in the updates, nothing additional to be added. So there you have it, folks. Sekai Project, they censored the game. They chose to do it preemptively early in 2021. Didn't tell anybody, kept it a secret. I usually don't say not to support companies. I usually don't say, hey, this is a company you shouldn't support. But I'm going to go ahead and say that Sekai Project is a company probably should not support if you want uncensored, change-free visual novels and such. We can argue at a different point whether or not, you approve of this material or you don't approve of this material. I lean on the side of, I don't think you should lewd the lollies, but that's just me. But obviously, this is considered legal material. This is considered acceptable under U.S. law. So the fact that they censored it, for their own benefit is kind of scumbaggery, in my opinion. Sekai Project, put on your clown shoes. That's all I got to say about that. But as always on this channel, love, peace, booty grease. We out this bitch.